how's it going? I'm gonna be out in the garden today. I'm looking so forward to just kind of puttering around a little bit. I have a few chores I want to get done, nothing major. I got a little watering to do. First off, I did want to thank you all for all the comments you left on our announcement video. It gave me so many great ideas for new videos this year about things that you really want to learn about, and it's so helpful to have that feedback. Also, I did want to let you all know that we are bringing the garden tours back. So we will have that this year. We actually hope to be touring other people's gardens as well. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I know that we might not do a tour here until it gets like there's some action out here. We might do one winter tour to where you can kind of see what our garden looks like at this point in terms of winter structure, because we are working on it. There's so many areas that we have just torn apart and we have a lot of work to do, but that way you can kind of see the progression of how things are happening. So probably once March rolls around, we'll start doing it more on a monthly basis because things change a lot quicker once it starts to warm up. So I'm actually behind the gazebo at the moment. I wanted to kind of check on some things because I noticed some bulbs pushing through the ground already, which is a little scary. It's been kind of warmer this winter, which is great. I'm not complaining, but it does make the bulbs want to come up a little faster. So you can see, first off, we have a branch on the ground. We had some wind the other night, but I've got some daffodils pushing through. You can see the little green right in there. There's one. So I think I'm gonna actually be putting some mulch down here pretty quick if I can get my hands on some that isn't frozen. Because I did mulch this area, but you can see that it's really kind of like it disappears. I don't know what happens to all of it, but I'm constantly mulching. Our pallet walkway is doing great. Of course, it hasn't been super wet this winter, so you know, I kind of don't expect it to break down too much. Little bit of snow still left. And then right here, you guys, I have huge plans for this area right here and this little potting shed. So we will share more details on that later, but I am really excited. I hate it when people do that. I hate it when people kind of half announce something, but I'm really kind of wanting to do a reveal video of what we're doing with that space, so we're gonna wait on it for now, but I'm very excited. The other area I want to work on is right in front of me. So we've got our oak trees here. You can see a big branch that has bent over. There are squirrels living in these trees like crazy, but they're not doing super great. So there was one right here, I'm assuming at one time, that got cut down because, you know, obviously this is some sort of hedge idea. But there's 3 of them. This one is probably the best out of the 3, and then there's this one right here, and then one on the end that have something going on with them. I don't know if it's a viral or what, but they don't look good. They're just twisting and looking horrible. They're supposed to look more upright like this. So this is something that Aaron and I have been talking about eventually putting in some other trees that also don't hold on to their leaves all winter because it drives me crazy. I do a lot of my cleanup in the fall. Like, as you can see, a lot of the plants have been cut back. It was cleaned up, but as new growth kind of pushes in the spring, it pushes out all of these brown leaves, and I have a huge mess again. And I don't really love that about these trees. They're fine for now, and we'll just kind of deal with them until we're ready. So I'm gonna head out to the greenhouse. We'll hope that the hose is not frozen. I like to water my things out here every 2 to 3 weeks in the wintertime, especially in the greenhouse, because, you know, that's covered, so they're not getting any rain. We have had a few rainy days, like especially late fall, early winter. Like early December, we had a lot of rain, but those plants don't get any of it, so I've got to make sure that they don't dry out, otherwise I will definitely lose them. All buttoned up right here. See, we've been doing some work out here too. This is a perfect spot to film, and it is currently 40 degrees in the greenhouse. Russell's up here eating the grass. What are you doing, bud? You helping me prune? So this is our water source for the greenhouse. It's right here by the barn. I don't know if you guys remember, but the actual pump and well is way over here, and we had to have it trenched out that white like arbor thing out into the driveway, and all the way over here there was a 4-foot trench so we could put in a frost free out here. greenhouse is done, but I do want to go grab a watering can so I can water a few of the evergreens I have in containers still around, but my hose isn't quite long enough. Hey, what are you doing up there? You're full of beans right now, aren't you? I think that willow tree is his favorite. I always find him in it, around it, playing with the branches that dangle down. Oh, this is something else I want to do today too. I already took the wreath down and the candles out of the window, but I'm going to take the garlands down with the lights and also take the lanterns in and give them a clean and put them away. But I will leave these winter kind of looking containers out. So the watering is all done. So now what I need to do is disconnect the hose I just used and try to get all the water out of it. Otherwise it will freeze and make the hose pretty much useless. Last year I stored my hose inside in a bathtub. This year I'm trying to get away with storing it in the greenhouse so I don't have to haul it back and forth. So now I need to grab the lawn tractor and my tools. It feels like it's probably been like a month and a half since I've actually pulled the lawn tractor around and done any cleanup out here. And I'm so looking forward to it. Do you guys do stuff in the winter? Like if you have nice weather, do you go out and like putter around in the garden and get little chores done or any cleanup? I just love it. I love when I can get out, even if it's cold. I do need to find some gloves though, because after all that watering, my hands are frozen. Well, it looks like I need to go inside for some gloves and pruners, but that's okay because then I can see if Benjamin's up from his nap yet. I don't think he is. Kind of hope he isn't. So the rest of the day doesn't get thrown off, but I always miss his sweet little face when he is like at his grandma's house or if he's sleeping. Ugh. Yep, he's still asleep. Look at him, so sweet. All right, got the rest of my stuff, so let's get the show on the road. All right, so let's take a closer look at this oak tree right here. Pretty good sized branch. You can see how thick they are right there. There's two of them it looks like. Like this one, and I think that this one will pop back up once this one isn't laying on top of it, and then this one right here. But you can see like the tree is just so badly shaped and it just does not look healthy. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to last with this one. And I don't know a ton about viral stuff in trees like this. Usually with stuff like that, we want to remove it so it doesn't spread to anything else. I should get an arborist out here, somebody who really knows what they're doing with trees like this, because it is a shame. I hate to take like everything out, but when it's this far gone, I just don't know. In other news though, my weeping willow is gorgeous, that is right nearby, and there's the Hebe statue with the limelight hydrangeas around the base of her. Love that spot. quite a bit better. At least there isn't big branches hanging down off the tree. Now there is one more spot I'd like to kind of tackle on this tree right here. See where the branch kind of comes out? I'd like to kind of shear that up. But I think what I'd rather do instead of pull prune, because there are a ton of branches in there, it's not like it's one big branch, it's just a bunch of little ones. I'd like to get my some kind of a saw and get on a ladder and just kind of take after it quick, almost like a hedge trimmer, and just hedge that off real quick. I think that'll be a lot faster. There's my pile of branches, which just blend right in with the leaves on the grass. So I want to give you kind of a before pan of this area. Basically what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this like cleanup is just leaves. Of course, look how many more have yet to come, but it's not good for the grass to have leaves laying on top, especially if we get some late snow. Kind of smothers the grass. There are a couple of perennials like some yarrow in here that I didn't cut back because they still had flowers on them. So I'll cut those back and just kind of do a general clean out of this one bed. So here's an update. I've got a few good sized piles. There's 2 in the flower bed, 1 here on the brick path, which I'm probably just gonna go ahead and rake that up as well. And then cleaned up the grass and the areas right underneath the oak, looking a lot better. So I'm definitely not going for perfection here. I'll wait until spring to do a really, really good job cleaning up leaves, because obviously like it would be all for naught if I spent a lot of time out here like picking the leaves out of the base of plants and things like that. Plus it's good to leave a little bit of a layer for perennials and things like that, just as kind of an insulation. But I do plan on coming in here in the next little bit and putting mulch down. That's why I don't really feel too bad or afraid picking up all the leaves in this area, because of the mulch and the fact that these will probably drop a bunch of leaves tonight. It's just nice to do it in increments instead of waiting till they all fall and they're a huge, big, thick mat. It's nice to do it when it's more manageable. I also feel like right now is kind of a good time to go in and shape trees, because you can see the outline, the structure of the tree when there's no foliage on them. These, of course, are a little different because they do have foliage. But like I was able to see on the one I pruned, I was kind of able to see what it looked like a little bit better, as opposed to in the summertime or spring or whenever, when it's got a lot more green leaves on it kind of covering the branches. Alright guys, this area is pretty much done for the moment. What I'll do is probably put it on my rotation of garden just maintenance, and I'll come over here periodically and just start cleaning up leaves as they fall. It does look a lot better. I think the grass will be a lot happier being able to breathe. And then I only had just a handful of perennials, mostly like in here. They swooped around to cut back. Just some hardy geraniums and red valerian, stuff like that. Really tough perennials. It's driving me nuts that you can see the drip line. I had all of that covered with mulch, and the mulch has disappeared. So I do need to get on getting the mulch in here. I think it'll look a lot better. Anyway, I'm really pleased with the progress of this spot. I mean, especially along this pathway. It looks nice and clean. I like things to be tidy. In fact, this is the point of the project where I'd probably put the blade on the mower, or the bag on the mower, and I would just like mow the lawn just to pick up the extra little bits that are left. But I don't want my neighbors to think I've completely lost it in January with the lawnmower out and some snow still on the grass. So I'll wait on that. Also, you guys might notice a couple of changes around the gazebo here that I thought I would just show you early on while everything is dormant. We had a hawthorn tree right back here that came out. It was just full of blight, and half of it had actually reverted back to its original rootstock. So it actually opens up this area beautifully, and I can redesign it, put some things in it that I really love, and I have more sun back here, which I was kind of lacking. And then toward the front, we had an ash tree, and I loved it, you guys. The ash was beautiful in the fall, but it just kept dying like big chunks at a time because I think it had borers. So anyway, we thought it was best to get that out of there and then maybe plant something else that didn't have that problem. So that was right here. You can kind of see some of the leavings from where they ground the stump out. and that kind of shrouded the whole side of this gazebo, and I actually kind of like seeing it. I don't know. Also, something that we would like to change eventually, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but we have these, like, I don't know, paver barrier things around the flower bed. I would really like to remove those and redefine the border. In fact, I'd probably want to redefine this whole area and make it a little bit different, and probably not have any kind of border, just grass, and then, you know, my mulch starts. Let me swing around the front. Yeah, I just want to create something maybe a little bit more balanced. I mean, of course, I'll probably have it bigger on this side, but you know, I could come out the same distance at least. I don't know. I'm gonna think on that. This year I might just toss zinnias and sunflowers and just some fun color in this spot while I think about it. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to get done out here today was take the garlands and lights down that are on the front and back door. It is Saturday and Benjamin is up from his nap, so I'll probably call it good after that so I can go spend some time with him. And you can see I left the pots, and I'll leave those until I'm probably ready to plant them this spring. Plus, when I put those greens in, I watered them in and they're frozen solid, so there's no way I'm getting them out. And that actually made me a little bit sad to take those down because I enjoyed those red lanterns in particular so much. I loved them, but I don't want to leave them up too long because I want like the novelty to not wear off. I want to be really excited every Christmas to bring those out. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's a chicken in my garden. Where did you come from? Are you an escapee? How funny. All right, I'm all done, so all I need to do is go put my stuff away and then I'm gonna head inside. And even though it's kind of chilly out here, it's just been beautiful. I just have enjoyed it so much. It lifts my mood so much to be out here working in the garden. Just like hearing the sounds of the birds, and this chicken's kind of making my day too. How fun, little bonus in this video. I have 3 or 4 neighbors that have chickens, so I think I'll be able to find where she belongs after I'm done here. And I hope you guys enjoy this type of video where I'm doing random projects outside, because now that we're going to be approaching spring, we'll have more videos like that because that's just what I'm doing. So let me know what you think about this type of video. I'd love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.